Hi guys, welcome to Coturnix Corner. My name's Terry, and in this video I want to talk a little bit about collecting and storing eggs for incubation. There are a couple reasons why you may need to do this. One, you may not have enough hens to produce the amount of eggs that you want to set in a single day, so you need to collect eggs over multiple days. Also, you could be on a rolling or a staggered hatch schedule. Or your incubator may just be full of eggs right now. You're waiting for them to hatch out before you place the next set. I know there's a lot of information going around online about the best methods for storing eggs prior to incubation, but I just want to share with you my routine. I've been using it for about 2 years now, and it's worked really well for me, and I usually get pretty decent hatch rates. Okay, so there's two things that I look for when I am collecting eggs for storage and incubation. The first thing is fertility, and the second thing is egg cleanliness and egg size. As far as egg cleanliness goes, if you are using a layer cage that has a sloped floor in it, so the eggs roll forward for easier collection, that's going to go a long way in helping to keep your eggs clean. It's also going to go a long way in helping to keep your eggs undamaged. You can collect eggs from, like a flat floored cage system, like your grow-out pen. Just keep in mind that the birds are going to be kicking them eggs all over the place. There's a greater potential for damage. There's also a greater potential for a dirty egg due to them being able to poop on the egg. As far as fertility, obviously you can't look at an egg and tell if it's fertile, but what you can do, and this is what I do, is I only collect eggs from my established breeding groups. I try not to collect eggs from hens that have just started laying or roosters that have just started showing breeding activity. Or if I have some of my established breeders and I have swapped out the males, I try to give those new males a week to 2 weeks. One, to help with the pecking order, and two, just to help them get their breeding technique down a little bit. Another way that you can check for egg fertility is to actually crack the egg open and inspect the yolk for a target or a bullseye. It's the blastoderm on the egg. That will tell you if the egg is fertile. And what I like to do is occasionally, especially on a newer cage or a new group of birds that I'm starting to collect from, I like to collect 10 or 20 eggs. I'll crack them all open and I'll see how many out of those say 10 eggs were fertile. If I've got 7 out of 10 showing fertile, I've got a 70% fertility rate, not to be confused with hatch rate. That way I know that I am at least setting eggs that have a greater potential to hatch out. Okay, so as far as storage goes, once I collect the eggs, I use this plastic shoebox. I go through and I collect all the eggs from the cages that I want to set the eggs from, and I take them inside and I will sort the eggs according to cleanliness, size, and hopefully fertility. Eggs that don't make the size or the cleanliness will go into these little plastic egg containers. Eggs that I plan on keeping to incubate, I will put in a foam shipping insert, pointy end down, just like you would as if you were getting ready to ship the eggs. Once I've got all the eggs sorted, I will take the eggs that are going to be incubated and I place them into a small dorm refrigerator. I know a lot of people say that a refrigerator is too cold to store eggs in, but after reading an article that I found on the Brinzia website about temperatures and egg development, there is one zone which is called the zone of suspended development, and that is the zone that we want to store the eggs in. We don't want any development of the egg while it's in storage. That zone of suspended development starts at 28 degrees Fahrenheit, goes up to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously 28 degrees is a little bit low. Very good possibility that the contents of the egg could freeze. But on my dorm refrigerator, with the temperature setting down at its lowest setting or its warmest setting. I've checked it several times with a thermometer, and it averages between 45 and 50 degrees. So I am in that zone of suspended development. So that is also going to be a good temperature to store your eggs at. I have been placing eggs in that refrigerator better than a year and a half now, and my hatch rate, believe it or not, has actually gone up. And I think the main reason for that is I'm located in South Florida. Our daily temperatures are always in the low to mid 90s, and even in the house, our temperatures average around 80 degrees. And if I try to store the eggs on a shelf in the house, my hatch rates drop. So that's why I looked into storing my eggs in the refrigerator, and my hatch rates instantly increased. But anyhow, the optimal temperatures are going to be between 50 and 70 degrees for storage. The length of time storage, you do not want to keep your eggs in storage for more than 10 days. The fertility rates are going to start dropping after that. I try not to store them longer than 7 days. And if I'm storing eggs for somebody that wants to either purchase them from me for hatching eggs, or they want me to ship them some eggs, I usually try not to store them at all, but I will go up to 2 days if I need to, collect enough eggs to send out for that person. So, turning the eggs, I have read a lot of people say that while the eggs are in storage, that they need to be turned or rotated. I don't do that. I put them in the foam inserts. They sit in the in the refrigerator until I am ready to take them out and place them in the turners and then place them in the incubators, but I do not turn them at all. As long as the eggs are pointy end down, so the air cell is at the top of the egg, you should have no issues storing your eggs without turning them. So guys, I'm just trying to let you know what has been working well for me. Like I say, my hatch rates have gone from probably in the 60 to 75% range when I keep my eggs out on a shelf outside of the refrigerator, up to 80 and 90% when I store them in my refrigerator. And I've even stored eggs when my dorm refrigerator was full. I've even stored eggs inside the house refrigerator. I place them down in the crisper, and that way, they're just a little bit more protected from people going in and out of the refrigerator. But I've had excellent hatch rates from those eggs also. So guys, I hope this gave you a little bit of insight into how I store my eggs. If you're having poor hatch rates and you think it may be due to your storage or your fertility, try some of the tips that I mentioned in this video, and hopefully that will help you out a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the video. So guys, thanks for joining me today. I hope this helped, and we'll see you on the next one.